Good morning, grade 6. I wanted to do a quick instruction on naming angles because my plan, if we were in class together, was to build up from measuring to understanding angles and measuring different types of angles. Because last year you would have already worked on the different measurements, so this would be an extension of that for the grade 6 outcome. Now, I'm not going to make this your goal in math quite yet because I want to see what kind of feedback I can get from you, whether one, you understand what I'm explaining to you, and two, if this is way too much, then I will wait until we get back to class before I continue on. But as an introductory lesson, I would like to look at this, and it says naming angles. This is right from the textbook, and it says an angle is formed when two lines meet. So if we look here at this angle, we see it says arm, arm, and vertex. So the two lines are meeting to create a vertex, and this line here indicates that this little triangle is your angle. Okay? So you can think of an angle as a turn about a vertex. The angle shows how far one arm is turned to get to the other arm. So let's look at an hour clock or an analog clock, which you would have learned about this hopefully in grade 4. The hour hand and the minute hand on a clock form an angle at the center of the clock. What angle is formed by the hands on the clock? So we would look at this and you'd say, here's an arm, here's another arm, here's your vertex. The distance between one arm to another arm is your angle, kind of this triangle shape-ish thing here. So I want you to take a guess on what angle is formed by the hands on this clock. Now, I'm going to tell you the different types of angles so that way you can take a guess on which one you think this one is. So I'm going to go to the next page here. And I'm going to make sure you can see this. Right angles and straight angles are all around us. So this is a right angle here. This is a straight angle here from this arm over to this arm, and this little dot here shows your vertex. We name angles for the way they relate to an right angle or a straight angle, So the way they relate to this angle or this angle is how we're going to name them. So an acute angle is less than a right angle. So it's less than a right angle. So the distance between this arm and this arm is less than this right angle up here. Oh, I am so sorry that you cannot see this. See if I can adjust. There we go. This one. These arms are not as far apart as the right angle. Now, an obtuse angle is greater than a right angle, but less than a straight angle. So let's go back up here. See, these two arms are really far apart. But if I go back to this angle here, it's not as far apart as a straight angle, but it's definitely further apart than this angle over here, which is the acute. So this one is obtuse. Now we have this one here, and it's called a reflex angle. A reflex angle is greater than a straight angle. So if we look at this here, it's almost like the arms on this straight angle are bent backwards a little bit farther, and you can see the distance from this arm all the way to this arm is greater. So now that we know all that information, let's go back over to this one on the clock. Excuse me, let me just adjust that as best as I can. What angle do you think this is? Is it an acute angle, so is it less than 90 degrees? Is it an obtuse angle, which is greater than 90 degrees, but not as far apart as a straight angle? Or is it a reflex angle where it is greater than a straight angle? So which one do you think this is? Now, if we take these pictures over here and we compare, here's your right, straight, acute. obtuse, reflex. Which one does it look like? Now, you can go onto the Teams math page or the math channel. And this is where I'm going to post this video, or the link to this video. In those comments, I want you to tell me which angle is the angle that's shown on the clock. I also want you to tell me, do you understand? Is this confusing? Can we move on, or should we wait and continue measurement for a little bit longer? This is going to help me with your next activities and instruction. Good luck.